United States,
Probably 5.
8.
8.
Because of free education,
Yeah.
there
I have to 100% agree with this guy. He knows what he's talking about. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be checking out a video titled, Where in the world is it, wow, dyslexia is triggered right now. Where in the world is it easiest to get rich? Dyslexia is not something to play with. You read what is not there. You see what is not there. And it's freaking hard to make any form of corrections because it's like it just keeps repeating itself. Anyways, we're gonna be checking out this video right now. It was a recommended video, so thank you for that recommendations. Anyone wants any recommendations, leave those in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Without further ado, let's go right into this video.
Where in the world is it easiest to get rich? That's the question I asked my professor when I studied sociology in the early 90s. Because he was having a lecture about social democracy, Scandinavian welfare state, and he was a classical left-wing sociology professor, and he could not hide his enthusiasm when he talked about these egalitarian societies with no rich people and no poor people. But I, on the other hand, I was writing my master thesis about rich people. So when I interviewed my informants from the upper classes, they all said the same thing. Life in Scandinavia is tough. We have to work twice as hard to earn money because we have to struggle against high taxes, strong unions controlling the wages, and a generous welfare state that makes people lazy. As one rich guy told me, he said, they call it a social security net. Well, I call it a hammock. And as every aspiring social scientist, I had starting to go native. I started to feel sympathy for these rich people. And that's why I raised my hand and asked my professor, well, what if you don't care so much about equality? What if your dream is to become rich? Where in the world should I have been born to become really rich?
Really rich.
I still remember the puzzle.
Hey boy, I love money. Hey, I don't hate on nobody who wants to become rich, but I'm not gonna be the guy who's gonna actually, advise anyone to become rich. What I will always say is find the path that you truly, feel, welcomed or accepted. Find the path that you feel, the best chasing. Don't do what the others want you to do or, what other people do. It's best you do something that, makes you feel happy. Like if paper chasing is your ideal way of living, go ahead. But if you rather a more modest and a more simple life, with a 9 to 5 and you just chill, go ahead and do that. I'm not going to be the guy to tell you what to do, so yeah.
On my professor's face, but he answered the best he could. Something like, well, if that's your goal in life, you should probably have been born in a society with free markets, low taxes, and minimal government intervention. And he added, if you want to become rich, you should probably not study sociology. And that was a good answer, and the best guess we had back then. That is, until I saw that the University of Oslo professor in economy, Kalle Moene, actually had checked the facts. Where in the world it's easiest to get rich? And before I share with you where you should go to earn money, we have to define rich.
Yes, sir.
The UN talks about the poverty line. you know, if you earn less than $1 a day, maybe $2 a day. But we have to define the richness line. It's a more fun line, actually. And the most reliable report when it comes to rich people, the Wealth Report, they set the richness line at individuals
100 a
with
day.
net worth more than 30 million US dollars.
Holy shit.
And in the consultant jargon, these people are called UHNWIs. That is ultra high net worth individuals. That guy, by the way, he's not rich, he's just a model. Actually, on the lower part of the model part. And I saved some money by keeping the watermark there as well. Okay. Smart.
All right.
So, according to the Wealth Report, there are more than 170,000 UHNWIs in the world. And here's the top 5 list of countries with the most rich people. Number 5, China, with more than 8,000. UK.
I was like United States. I was like United States, but I was saying it's number 1, right? But imagine I'm wrong, though. Imagine I'm wrong. There's no way. I mean, it has to be.
Germany, Japan, and on top, of course, United States with more than 40,000 rich people.
Yes, sir.
But of course, we're not interested in the absolute numbers here. We are interested in rich people per capita, per million inhabitants. And if we leave out the pure tax havens,
I
like
get that.
Cyprus and Switzerland, Hong Kong, Singapore, Monaco, who have an artificially huge share of rich people, it turns out that we have on number 5 Denmark with 179 rich people per million inhabitants, Canada, New Zealand, Sweden,
Canada?
and on top,
Damn, Norway? Shit.
Norway.
Sweden is right there? Yo, Sweden right there by me. Like, I can, like, drive to Sweden right now. Wow, okay.
But where's the US?
It
On
died.
place 13.
I mean, when you do the calculations like that, it's gonna make the United States, get a lot of exposing because you got a lot of really rich people in the United States, but you got a really large amount of poor people in the United States.
So what happened to my old professors, social democracies? There are no rich people there. But okay, $30 million, that's just pocket money in a country like the US, where people can get insanely rich. Look at the watermark again. So let's rise the richness line up from $30 million up to $1 billion.
Please do not do that.
And the most reliable source here is the Forbes billionaires list. And according to the Forbes, if we look at billionaires per million inhabitants, on number 5, Germany, 1.2
Wow.
million billionaires. No, 1.2 billionaires per million inhabitants. United States, 1.7, Norway, 2, Sweden, and on top Iceland with 3.1. With a single billionaire, Thor Björgolfsson. He could have been a model. So, but the point is, United States, 1.7, Scandinavia taken as a whole, 2.1, and the big mystery is, how can this be? How can Bernie Sanders' dream societies, these socialist paradises, be such a breeding place for rich people? That's a mystery. And there are 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is free education. Social democracies give free higher education to everybody, and cheap student loans and grants. And we can that enables more people to use their talents and earn money. We can see this in the social mobility numbers. Imagine all fathers in a society, and we divide them into 5 groups based on income, from the bottom fifth up to the top fifth. And then we look at their sons, and then divide their income into 5 steps. And we see how many sons of the fathers from the bottom income end up on top. How many sons goes from rags to riches? If it was perfect social mobility, if talents and opportunities were equally distributed, 20% from the bottom would end up on each of these 5 ladders. So let's look at the numbers for the different countries. In Denmark, they're pretty close to perfect social mobility, with 14% goes from rags to riches. In Norway, it's 12, Sweden 11, United States 8.
8.
Because of free education,
Yeah.
there
I have to 100% agree with this guy. He knows what he's talking about. Based off of just having a basic intellectual understanding of any form of, achievement in life, you would actually be able to, come to a conclusion regarding this matter, right? Because the thing is, if schooling is, I've checked it out, like let's say Helsinki University, which probably would be the most hyped university in Finland, I'd imagine. I do not know, but I'm just referencing it since Helsinki is the capital. But about $15,000 for an annual tuition, right? That is for an immigrant. Keep in mind that you might go to a university in the United States and you're paying about $20,000 to $25,000 or more, right? It could be per semester or for the year. I'm just giving basic references here. So it's way more out of your reach compared to way more in your reach. And remember, I'm giving Helsinki and a basic university in the United States. A high university in the United States, you're looking at probably $50,000 to $60,000 annually or per semester. I am not sure what it is at this particular moment. So indeed, if you actually are able to go to university like myself, I'm not in university right now, but I hope to start, right? If you are able to go to university and actually get a degree in, let's say, computer science, and you get a job, you get probably $100,000 a year, right, for that job, for salary, that now puts you in a better place to actually, go somewhere. But without you having that opportunity to go to college, right, at a lower cost, keep this in mind. You're going to cancel on university entirely because $30,000 a year, you're like, hell no, how am I going to even get that? A normal job doesn't even pay me that. I'm probably getting $25,000 a year maximum with a normal job, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to limit yourself and you're going to try to save from that. And that's going to take you so long just to get anywhere. And even if you do go $30,000 a year, that's 4 years in college. That's 30 times 4. That's $120,000 if my math is correct. Guess what? Look how much debt you got to be paying back. Right, and let's say if you do the same thing with Finland, that's 15 times 4 or 3, because I saw something like you could go for 3 years. I really don't know. But that's 4 times 3, that's 30, that's $60,000 compared to 120. So you can clearly see how easily you can climb the ladder if you actually, participate in school, being born in a Scandinavian country, easily as that.
are more self-made men in Scandinavia than in the US.
Yeah.
And if we look at those sons who don't end up on top, but stay on the bottom, who goes from rags to rags.
Rags to rags.
Again, 20% would be perfect mobility. In Denmark, 25% ends up on the bottom. Sweden, a bit more. Norway, look United States. This is because education in the United States is very expensive.
Indeed, he's right.
But the second and most important explanation for Scandinavia being such a breeding place for rich people is this. Have you ever noticed, if you've been to the United States, when you drive around and you drive through a toll plaza, there's actually people sitting there taking
Indeed.
your money.
Indeed, actually.
Compare that to my local toll plaza. Just a sign with some gizmo attached to it. And when you go to a supermarket in the United States, there are actually people there helping to pack your things into your bags.
Facts.
It's very friendly and
Facts. Yeah. Facts. Facts. It's not a lie. This one is true. The whole situation. When I came to Finland, I was like, yo, where the folks at? I gotta do this shit myself. That's how we do it over here. I gotta stack them on myself. All right, whatever. But you do have somebody stacking your bag in the United States. I'm not sure if that's how it is now because I haven't been in the United States for a minute. I've been in Finland for so long now, right? But I'd imagine it's still the same, you know. But yeah, that's real life.
convenient compared to my local grocery store. It's like this. There's nobody there. The biggest shock I had when I went to the US for the first time, when I went to the restroom, there are actually people working there. Compare that to my local public toilet. There's not even a cleaner there. It
What the hell is this? That's crazy. But yeah, true facts.
cleans itself automatically. And the reason for this difference is that Scandinavian unions are pressing up the minimal wages. So it's so expensive to have these people working there. In Norway, a toll booth operator, supermarket packer, and a restroom janitor would earn almost 3 as much as in the US. And that's why we have replaced these people
Automated.
with machines. And that is why I was surprised when I saw this article in the New York Times in 2014, preparing for chip and PIN cards in the United States. Because in the United States, people are still using paper checks as a method of payment, while Scandinavian banks have made us start using chip and PIN cards long ago. Because the minimal wages here are so high, so Scandinavian banks can't afford having people manually controlling the checks. So Scandinavian companies, because of the unions pressing up the wages, they have to downsize and introduce new technology, or else they will go broke. And new technology increases the productivity in a society, which in the long run also increases profit. And on the upper end of the wage ladder, in the name of solidarity, Scandinavian unions hold back the highest salaries of the skilled workers. So, for example, a Norwegian senior engineer, he's my uncle, by the way. That's why there's no watermark there. Actually, he would look cooler with a watermark, but he earns on average per year $76,000, while his American colleague earns more than $100,000. So, American engineers, they are not only more good looking, but they are more expensive. So, of course, this wage restraint on high-skilled work, it's good for profit. So the unions are in effect subsidizing the capitalists. I wish I knew all this when I gave up a career in social science, because the beauty and the irony of this finding, I think it's amazing. On the one hand, you have my rich informants that complained about how hard it is to get rich in Scandinavia, and they had it all wrong. Not only is it easier to get rich in a social democracy, but they are critical to the very institutions that have helped them getting rich. High taxes, which gives free education and more talent into the economy.
True.
Strong unions that are helping increasing the productivity, and a generous welfare state that make the unions accept downsizing because they know that their members will be well taken care of, so the unions cooperate because of the safety net. So rich people are a bit like Immanuel Kant's famous bird, who thinks she could fly even faster in airless space, forgetting that it's the air itself that gives her lift. And on the other part of the political spectrum, when Bernie Sanders is praising Scandinavian societies, he forgets that these are not anti-rich or anti-capitalist systems, because the welfare state and unions work in tandem with capitalist dynamics. And I think that is the most important lesson here. The economy is not a zero-sum game. We're in this together. And that is why Scandinavia is a better place to fulfill the American dream than America itself. Thank you so much.
Wow. That's crazy. No, but real talk, he's not lying. And even with the reference with the American making 100 plus and the guy in the Scandinavia making 70 plus, like, yeah, it's going to be taxed in both of them, right? However, when you look at other things that comes into factor, like that guy with 100,000, if he wasn't, brought up in a rich family, he's likely going to have to pay, a student loan that is probably 100,000, right, for a couple of years. And the Finnish guy, not the Finnish guy, but the Scandinavian guy, he's going to just have to pay that loan, if he even took any, because it's already free. He's going to have to pay nothing, right? And he's just going to pay a higher tax. And at the end of the day, I still think you might, enjoy this one a little bit better. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.